Hello my lovelies, welcome back. Today I'm going to be starting off a new series called Becoming Your Favorite It Girl series based on statistics and personality traits. So there are two things I love the most in this world. It is entertainment and fictional characters and psychological statistics. So I thought, why not mesh them together and teach you how to become your favorite it girl based on personality traits and statistics. Let's dive right into it. It girl that we're going to be talking about today is Rory Gilmore. Leave any and all it girl requests below. I have a huge list. There are just so many to choose from. So this is going to be really fun. Okay, so you want to be more like Rory Gilmore. I'm going to tell you exactly what Rory is, what her sign is, what her Hogwarts house is, what her MBTI type is, what her 4 temperaments are, etc, etc. And then after this, I hope this prompts you to look at your own and see what you maybe already have in common with her or what you might want to change specifically to be more like her. Because I think that's a lot of the problem when we try to emulate like our favorite characters or celebrities. It's just that we say we want to be more like them. Like, oh, I wish I was more like her. But like, how so? Which trait? Is it different from you? Why? What could you, like, how could you change it? And this is where we're gonna break that down so that you can pinpoint exactly what it is, change it, and be your own dream it girl. So, Rory, let's start. Rory is a Libra. That's her zodiac sign. What this means is that she is a peacemaker. You can see this in Rory throughout the whole series. The way she mediates conflict between her mom and her dad, or her mom and her grandparents, or even the grandparents themselves. Let's talk about her 4 temperament style. If you don't know what the 4 temperaments are, they are a psychological way to evaluate and categorize people into 4 different temperaments: choleric, melancholic, phlegmatic, and sanguine. The way to remember this is cholerics being red, sanguine being yellow, melancholic being blue, and what is the other one? Phlegmatic being green. So most people have 2 of these temperaments as their baseline. Some people have 3, some people have 1. No one has all 4. Rory is a melancholic sanguine, so blue and yellow. What does this mean? Melancholic or blue people are very, very logical. Easy. Rory was always really smart, always really studious, loved to learn, loved to read. This is melancholics, the blues. They are logical, they are rational, they are analyzing, they are very, very smart, they crave knowledge. Now this is where it gets really interesting because her sanguine second trait is yellow, and sanguines are actually really sociable. They are really sociably successful. They are all very charismatic, they are witty, they are outgoing, they charm people, they're charmers, they know how to talk to people, they're confident. So tell me right now that this doesn't describe Rory. Instantly. And this is where it gets super interesting to learn about people and characters and yourself in this terms, because that's how you understand how Rory is a melancholic, which is basically a type that isn't really into emotions or people interactions, but paired with sanguine makes her this person that, yeah, she loves being alone and she loves reading and she's really knowledgeable and she's really rational and analytical, but at the same time she has this other side of being a charmer and witty, and you know, she has her pop culture references and she's sarcastic and she can banter. Why? Because these 2 traits coexist in her. Okay, let's move on to her Hogwarts house, which is obviously Ravenclaw. So once again, I mean, we knew this from the get-go, right? Like, to be more like Rory is to want to be more smart, more studious, more bookish, read more. So yeah, Ravenclaw, she's obsessed with knowledge. Easy. Her Enneagram is Enneagram 1 with wing 9. What does this mean? Enneagram 1s are very perfectionist, which comes totally tied in to her melancholic or blue side. Ones are very perfectionist, logical, even maybe a little bit controlling. Like, they always want to be in the know and they want everything to go perfectly, like get their 10 in their exam and get to a dream college and things like that. That's a 1. That's Rory. And this ties perfectly to her wing number 9 because this control issue that ones have with wanting to be in control because of their wanting to because they want to be perfectionist and perfect in everything and whatever, is perfectly translated to her Enneagram wing number 9, because she tries to control her mother's relationship with her dad, with her grandma, with her grandpa, in order to play peacemaker. And that's her wing. Enneagram number 9 are peacemakers. They love to mediate conflict. They love balance. They want everything to be peaceful and perfect and everyone to be content. Isn't it amazing how all the things add up? Okay, for Rory's MBTI, she is an ISFJ. So I for introverted, obviously. She is way more introverted than she is extroverted. But once again, this doesn't take away the fact that she's witty and charismatic and charming. She's still an introvert. S stands for sensing instead of intuitive. So she's more about what she can see and what she can touch as opposed to like her gut feeling, which makes a lot of sense because logical people look at the cold, hard facts. F is feeling as opposed to thinking, which is really where her sanguine comes in, because she, even though she's a very, very logical person, she trusts more her feelings and, you know, battles more with her feelings in making decisions for real life, like things like her boyfriends and Jess and Dean and Logan and things like that, than the logic itself. And lastly, she's judging instead of perceiving, which just means she's a bit more stuck in her way. She's not very flexible, which is obviously shown in the series time and time again. Perfect example when she literally dropped out of Yale because one person told her she couldn't make it. That was it. Like, she wasn't gonna bend and say like maybe he's, you know, wrong, like I can try harder, whatever. No, she was like, fuck it, I'm leaving, bye. Which also ties in perfectly to the feelings route. Like, her ego was so hurt, it overthrew all logic and rationale. Confirmation, if you want to be more like Rory, you need to present some, if not most, of these types of personality traits. You need to be obviously smart, knowledgeable, studious. She also has this thing where she's not looking for things. Like, none of her boyfriends she was looking for. She was resistant at first to most, but you have to have this energy of just, you're so into you and your work, especially in the studious aspect and the bookish aspect, that things are drawn to you. You have to love learning, you have to be ambitious. I would say that Rory's second Hogwarts house would be Slytherin, honestly, because her ambition drives her hunt for knowledge. It's more about the knowledge than the ambition per se, but it's there. Another just little thing that maybe you admire from Rory that you can just copy by like learning are pop culture references. Like, she's really witty with her banter and a lot of it comes from pop culture reference. And lastly, I'm just gonna talk about her style, because sometimes we just wanna be the it girl because of how she dresses. And here I'm gonna quote, I always forget her name and I always quote her in my videos, but I'm gonna put it here, I'm gonna put it in the description. She's an amazing stylist, YouTuber, and influencer that created this like roots of style where there's 8 roots based on nature and you pick 3 and then you mix them up and that's, you know, your wardrobe and your style, and it's insanely good. But anyway, based on this chart, maybe there's a picture, if there is I'll put it here, and not, maybe I'll put the list. But Rory's style is defined with flower and stone. Stone is like the most, not basic, but like comfortable, neutral style there is. Rory's always in like, you know, plain sweaters, plain t-shirts, plain, like all very plain, very comfortable, very stone-ish. But she has a lot of flower in her, which means there are girly pops to her stoneness. When she dresses up, it's always in nice feminine dresses. Cardigans are very feminine. Sometimes her sweaters or her shirts are like in a light pink or a light blue. It's very incorporated into her style in a minor way. Her headbands, things like that. So anyway, this is the end of the Rory Gilmore It series breakdown. I hope some of this category spoke to you and made you realize what it is exactly that you want to change in you. It's very, very useful to know what your categories are as you're watching this, so you can take a ton of MBTI tests or Hogwarts house test or 4 temperaments tests online, look it up, there's tons, and once you know yours, then maybe it will definitely be easier for you to know which specific trait would you like to change or augment or just downplay altogether to be more like the person that you want to be. Let me know if you like this series. I'm obsessed with this. I could talk about every single character in the world with this because I'm obsessed. If you have any ideas of who you want me to do, leave them down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.